What stands out to you, just an early on looking film at Penn State's defense, where they do well?
Yeah, I think they're very good at what they do, and they work together as a unit very well. I think is what pops out the most. Of course, they got some big athletic guys, but I think that they work very well together on defense.
Morgan Ellison's a guy who obviously had a big game last week, and he's a guy you maybe mentioned that has stepped up in the preseason camp and things. What was it like to see him sort of have that big game, and then how much pressure does that take off you guys at the quarterback passing the ball when you get that kind of backup from the running game?
Yeah, and I think it's great for him to have that success, and he came today with a great attitude, which is even better because it's just one game, and this game coming up is the most important game of the year because it's our next game. So he's got to come back and do it again and just keep working hard, which he is going to. And it makes it a lot easier for us in the passing game, of course, when we can run the ball effectively.
What do you say to a young guy like Morgan amongst some other young guys that probably get some time who might be in their first real hostile environment this weekend, at least a road hostile environment?
Yeah, just communication is key in practice all week. You try your best to simulate a environment like that through using speakers with noise and all that. But when it comes down to it, that's not going to be anything like what it's going to sound like there. So I told Morgan today, I was like, communication all week long. We got to be on the same page. Whenever, in practice, it'll be easy to just lean over and tell somebody, whatever it is, you got to yell. Treat it like it's a real game on the road in the Big Ten.
Do you change your communications? Is there more maybe nonverbal stuff than there is usually, or you just make sure your voice is rested because you're going to be yelling a lot?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think as of right now, I think we're just going to try and do it verbally. So it's going to put that's why I emphasize that to the younger guys and to the whole unit really how big communication is this week because it's going to be loud, of course, and we're very excited for that.
When you have a challenge like this, playing at an unbeaten top 5 team like that, how amped up do you get for something like that?
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity, of course, and I think everybody realizes that. But at the end of the day, it's just got to be another faceless opponent. Our preparation and our mindset's got to be the same week in and week out. So, you know that and you get excited for it. But when it comes down to put in the work and go out and play, just faceless.
You guys came pretty close against them last year. Is there anything you can take from that game?
Just obviously we've put a lot of emphasis, not emphasis, but we all know about the game last year. Everybody on the team knows about it. Obviously, it was a game where we were extremely disappointed at the outcome. So, it's just we're excited to get back on the field with them.
What did it mean to have Brandon Knight back in the offensive line?
Yeah, huge. I think just to give that confidence. He's a very confident guy. So to add him into the O-line was big for also the whole unit. The rotation-wise, obviously, it gives some guys opportunities to get a break when they need it. So it was very big for us.
Can maybe give your thoughts on Greg Gooch and the kind of impact he's had, and maybe did you guys have some interesting during August camp where he went out and got after you a little bit?
Yeah, me and Gooch are really, really close on and off the field. So there's a lot of times, especially during camp and spring ball, where he and I are going at it because he's so close on the D line. Coach Sheridan always would get on me. He'd say, "Earmuffs and blinders, right? Don't. The play's over. Don't go over there and talk to Gooch. Don't go over there and talk to Tigray. Move on to the next play," which is something I needed to work on. And but he's a leader on this team, a huge leader on this team. And obviously, I spoke on this before. He's someone that I looked to whenever Coach Allen took over the whole unit to mold the offense around how him and Tigray were able to get that defensive side of the ball to buy into everything that Coach Allen was saying. So, him and Tigray both were extremely helpful to me on that. So I think he's priceless to this team.